All right, all right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a game. This game is going to be between Happy and HawK, taking place here on Silverwind, clearing all the random. Happy spawning as the red human on the top right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, HawK spawning as, well, the blue undead on the bottom left. As always, with an all the random game, really need to get to that 2-minute mark to see what heroes are out in play. And then, well, trying to predict what is going to happen. All right, so first hero, what is it going to be? It is going to be a Pit Lord versus a Shadow Hunter. Pit Lord by Happy, Militia Footman, and this is going to be a little bit of a tough spot for Happy. Normally, one of the reasons why the Pit Lord is a powerful hero with the undead is because of that death coil. The Pit Lord being able to jump into the front lines and have a 200 or 400 hit point heal, as it is sometimes a second or third hero out on the battlefield. All right, Happy opting to go for Cleave as that first ability. I'm going to be able to cleave down this giant wolf. And now, this is an interesting call here, building an Arcane Vault immediately, knowing that it needs that, that Scroll of Regeneration. Meanwhile, Shadow Hunter, Serpent Ward, wow, this is kind of cute here. Shadow Hunter, Serpent Ward, go wide, Rod of Necromancy creep clearing against this giant wolf creep camp. And Shadow Hunter is sitting at level 2, using a ritual dagger, gonna heal up, and, well, be on its way. Also picked up an Tome of Agility, and remember, the Shadow Hunter is an agility-based hero, so doing a little bit more bonus damage as well. Not something you see every day in WarCraft 3. Pit Lord first, fast expansion with human. But, well, that is some of the benefit that we get from all the random. Now, Shadow Hunter makes its way through. Gonna do a little bit of poking. There's a Serpent Ward for a poke. Pit Lord doesn't want to get hit. Rod of Necromancy, summon up a couple of skeletal minions here. Pit Lord could slice and dice pretty easily. You can see, wow, that slice and dice pretty effective. There's a Howl of Terror. That's going to remove much of the damage from, or a little bit of the damage here, as the skeletal minions are going to fall at the hands of the Pit Lord. All right, a little bit more damage. Another peasant gets taken down. Ghouls are trying to go after all of these peasants here. Perhaps more militia getting called on over as Serpent Ward still getting summoned up. This is quite an interesting sight. Shadow Hunter could summon up some more Serpent Wards, but he needs to find a way to keep these Serpent Wards alive. Pit Lord slicing and dicing his way through a couple of these Rod of Necromancy skeletal minions. It does take my eyes a little bit of time to decipher what is happening. When you see a Pit Lord fighting inside a human base with Cleave, and there's well, skeletal minions amongst them, and well, my years of experience is telling me, hey, you know, the Pit Lord is attacking those peasants with skeletal minions. Like, no, that's not what's happening in this game. The Pit Lord is in fact defending those peasants against those skeletal minions at the human base expansion. All right, let's continue to see how this game unfolds. HawK has gone for that expansion down here on the southern side. There's one Nerubian tower, could try to go for a Spirit Tower as well. Meanwhile, the Pit Lord, well, does get a Blood Fiend and also a Forest Troll Shadow Priest. So interesting calls here. Blood Fiend does have chaos damage and does attack fairly quickly. So that Blood Fiend, well, they're going to regroup here and then perhaps try and put pressure on this expansion. Serpent Ward is already down in a Nerubian tower. That is a lot of damage. There's a Howl of Terror, and, well, the Serpent Ward's not effective negatively. All right, both sides still continuing the fight. The Forest Troll Shadow Priest may want to back up. The ghouls are getting into position, and, well, Forest Troll Shadow Priest with its high priority, well, low hit points, becomes a high priority to try and get taken out. All right, Poison Treant trying to go after a couple of targets as well. Pit Lord still swiping away at all of these targets. Healing Wave, there's another Howl of Terror as the Poison Treant. What is going to go on here? damage is still being done. Serpent wards getting summoned up. A poison treant down to 11 hit points, still somehow alive, able to apply some slow poison damage across these units. Remember, slow poison is normally, we see it from range units such as dryads. So, first time actually seeing a melee, I take it back. Some of those Murloc creep camps also doing similar things. Happy trying to clear out some of these ghouls right here. Blood Fiend gonna get taken down. Pit Lord is sitting at level 3, does have level 2 cleave, so does deal large amounts of damage per swipe if all of the ghouls are nearby. However, the Nerubian towers are making sure that the Pit Lord is having a hard time trying to get in a lot of swings on those targets, as the Shadow Hunter now sits at level 3. All right, it feels like Happy is completely content trying to just disrupt as much mining as possible, as we are at Halls of the Dead now, and getting in more acolytes. Behind this, Happy is just now, recently started his tech to tier 2. We are getting up an Arcane Vault. We can see that the Expo already has that Arcane Vault, so not quite sure why Happy needs a second one here. Pit Lord does also have another Scroll of Regeneration, and now gonna perhaps dive in. Are we gonna see a Howl of Terror? Forest Troll, Shadow Priest, and a Kobold Taskmaster Command Aura, giving damage bonus to all of these footmen. Now, this Pit Lord, mana on this Forest Troll, Shadow Priest might be difficult to come by. Spider Crap, the Death Knight is actually on the other side. Little chuckle right there. Death Knight on the other side of the map. Death Knight not going to be able to even Death Coil damage onto the Pit Lord. So my brain will need to process things here. Death Knight and Pit Lord going up against each other in a human versus undead matchup. A little bit odd. Anyways, Serpent Wards are down. Level 2 Serpent Ward, 27 to 30 damage. Pit Lord trying to go after targets. The Pit Lord does have Claws of Attack +8, so that is going to be a big deal as well. Pit Lord trying to finish off some of these targets. Are we going to see some big swipes here? There's some big swipes, and you can see how much damage is just being done by this Pit Lord. That +12 damage. Remember, that Command Aura also doing a bit of work as the units are now trying to retreat back. Crypt Fiend trying to retreat back here, defend on those footmen, and the defend on the footmen also going to protect against those nasty Serpent Wards too. Both sides still fighting their way through as the Kobold Taskmaster and the Murloc Mutant make its way back over. Not quite sure what the Murloc Mutant has in its toolkit. It does have mana, so it must have something, as we now see another Howl of Terror. Happy pushing in pressure across the battlefield. Shadow Hunter getting in some heals. Death Knight, doesn't have enough mana for a heal yet. I should be getting a heal onto that. A Crypt Fiend here in just a moment, as the, what is going down here? That Crypt Fiend down to 41 hit points, fighting on Blight. What is, HawK perhaps not realizing, hey, I can heal my units, as the Pit Lord now gets up to level 5. There's a Death Coil heal. The Pit Lord trying to get within melee range. Obsidian Statue now out here on the battlefield needs to provide mana to the Death Knight and that Shadow Hunter. Otherwise, multiple Crypt Fiends could be lost here. But the Crypt Fiends are actually having a good time trying to focus down Happy's other units. All right. Danger zone constantly. The Obsidian Statue trying to keep things alive here. More Crypt Fiends looking to back away, and that cleave damage is just doing so much here. There's a little bit of a healing wave. Are we gonna see a big swipe? No, we don't. The Obsidian Statue stays alive at 14 hit points, as a new Obsidian Statue gonna be coming over to join in on the battle. All right, playing on a razor's edge right there. Both sides trying to walk away with a certain victory. Both sides coming away just a little bit short. Didn't want to overcommit, but HawK is able to, unable to keep this gold mine fully saturated, as we are at Black Citadel now. Long drawn out battles, unpredictable battles, trying to foresee what's going to happen. Happy is sitting on a large amount of gold, 1,500, getting advanced lumber harvesting and going for triple Griffin aviaries. I know yeah, it's been years past since the release of since the release of Frozen Throne, but the introduction of the Dragon HawK Rider allows for 3 Griffin aviaries to already be built by the time the castle is done. So at any moment, Happy could just quickly just crank out triple Griffins. However, that doesn't seem to be the case here. We see an orb of slow picked up by Happy. So, well, interesting to see a Pit Lord with an orb of slow. We are also going to see a Doom Guard as well, being that powerful ability to try and shut down enemy units. As we're looking at the Jungle Stalker and all of these units getting taken down to 52 supply compared to 50. Is Happy going to be able to do his magic once more? Griffins out here onto the battlefield. And, well, being able to easily spend your gold is always an important deal. So the Tidal Lord has the Devotion Aura. The Kobold Taskmaster has the Command Aura. So this is essentially an additional 1/1 upgrade for all of Happy's units right now. As we see the giant sea turtles getting cleaned up here. Dragon Turtle. Oh, this might be an interesting call. If the Shadow Hunter, well, Shadow Hunter will get to level 4. Death Knight could get to level 3 here off of this creep camp. And if it does get to, oh, little tidal wave there. Dragon Turtle, Orb of Corruption. Well, there's that dual level up. Claws of Attack plus 12 given to the Shadow Hunter. That Shadow Hunter suddenly hitting very hard. Plus 17 damage on top of that Orb of Corruption armor debuff. That is big. HawK being able to clear out the red creep camp on the map, that is a huge deal. And the fact that he's still able to gain experience on the Death Knight and the Shadow Hunter. Remember, the Pit Lord cannot gain any more experience right now. So we're looking at the Shadow Hunter, well, benefiting significantly more from creeping, and HawK's army just significantly benefiting more from creeping. All right, Serpent Ward poking, Scroll of Town Portal now inbound, 74 supply compared to 64, and in comes this army. Do we see Web here? HawK does not have Web, and without Web, those Griffin Riders are going to be able to do quite a bit. Oh, finally, the Web was completed, and is this going to be enough here? Webbing down, making it difficult for the Griffin Riders to actually get within range and be able to focus fire onto a single target. Meanwhile, Happy also has Knights out here onto the battlefield. I do not believe he has Sundering Blades, though, so it's not dealing that bonus damage against those Crypt Fiends. Healing Wave still bouncing around, additional Griffin Riders in the air, as we're looking at the targets just trying to hit each other again. There's a quick reveal. Are we going to see some, well, units get taken down here? Death Knight trying to stay alive here, and the reveal came to an end. Shadow Hunter is going to be able to back away in time. And the reveal, are we going to see perhaps some Griffin Riders actually get poked down to 63 hit points, down to 15. Oh, that Griffin Rider nearly getting finished off, getting Staff of Sanctuary home. Meanwhile, Doom Guard by Happy has been activated.
Players' forces are under attack.
Okay. Death Knight, level 3. Shadow Hunter sitting at level 4. The key to this game right now is when this expansion will get spotted and whether or not HawK will be able to gain another level by creeping. There's still this orange creep camp here, level 6 and some level 4s here. That could give a big advantage to HawK if HawK actually has the opportunity to clear it. However, if he does try and utilize that opportunity to clear that creep camp, what he may find out is, well, never mind, take it back. Happy gonna instead go after this particular expansion, or excuse me, HawK gonna go after the expansion instead. Crypt Fiends, oh, Howl of Terror removing much of that damage, now going after the Crypt Fiends. Knights, where are they on the battlefield? Obsidian Statues getting completely lost. There is a stomp from the Doom Guard from Happy, slowing down more of those Crypt Fiends as the Destroyers are now battling up. Obsidian Statues gonna absorb some mana. HawK gonna take to the skies. Death Knight perhaps gonna need to Healing Wave. Death Coil saving those Crypt Fiends and those other units as the Doom Guard now makes its way back over. All right, Doomguard trying to finish off some of those Crypt Fiends as well. The Griffin Riders, well, you can see that burst damage on, or that damage onto those Obsidian statues. Obsidian statues only have 500 hit points. Add in the fact that the Griffin Riders' magic does significant bonus damage against that heavy armor, and you can see how quickly that does fall apart. The Doomguard, well, about to come to an end here. Staff of Sanctuary saving another unit. Death Coil, and, well, taking down that Kobold Taskmaster to remove that command aura. A very big setback indeed. Quick reveal by Happy to ensure that there is nothing, well, no burrowed Crypt Fiends in that spot. 62 supply compared to 77. HawK is in some trouble right now. 5-4 going up against a level 6. And, well, Happy just ensuring that, well, there is not enough, well, no, HawK, excuse me, Happy ensuring that HawK is not able to do any more creeping. Now, Silver Wind Clearing, one of those maps that has an odd number of gold mines. So this gold mine here, if your opponent has it, the only way to try and catch up economically is by attacking it. One of those situations where you put a natural pressure point on the map, such as Concealed Hill, as the Knight purposely picked up a unit, and then talk about, well, the Amazon Prime delivery, being able to Staff of Sanctuary a unit back home as soon as it picked up to ensure it gets back to the castle safely. All right, Mantle of Intelligence, Wand of Illusion being left behind here. Ghoul is going to try and swarm, and HawK just trying to put in, well, just enough pressure, split pressure indeed, as we're looking at, well, perhaps trying to shut things down here. This could give a little bit of experience off, as the Shadowhunter is now at level 5 now. Serpent Wards, level 3 Serpent Wards, 46 to 50 damage, and they do have very far range. That is incredibly important, as the Griffin Riders, are they just going to go straight after the Obsidian statues? Yeah, one Obsidian statue already gone. Now going after the Crypt Fiends. Dragonhawk Riders can't really target anything, and Happy is just taking this battle to the skies, being able to focus things down. Another Doomguard has been summoned out onto the battlefield here. That range chaos damage so much, as the Knights are still giving chase, trying to go after those Crypt Fiends. No Sundering Blades upgrades. Griffin Hawk Rider still going here, but the Unholy Aura of the Death Knight allowing for faster movement speed to try and, well, retreat away again. 93 supply compared to 65. I believe we all see the writing on the wall. Happy with a commanding lead as he gets a level 8 Doomguard out on the, well, to the battlefield. Well, Griffin Riders, Happy unable to deal with those units here. The Destroyers perhaps going up against the Dragonhawk Riders here. A little bit of a split attack again. Both sides continuing the fight. Knights of Happy do not have, well, I've already said it, so you guys know. I keep on expecting at some point Happy to get Sundering Blades. Oh, the Knight, he's actually stuck. All right, but I believe Happy has a large enough lead as the Pit Lord down to 150 hit points. And talk about not being able to finish off a unit with the Death Coil. That is absolutely huge. Not being able to finish that off there. 90 supply compared to 68. That is a lot of web. That is a lot of web forcing an engagement here. The Pit Lord cannot engage here. And oh my goodness, all of Happy's Griffins are gone. There goes another. That's going to give level 5 to the Death Knight and nearly level 6 to the Shadowhunter. The spontaneous webbing of all of those units completely changed what I thought was going to happen. Happy, who had an amazing supply advantage, now very much more even. We're just going to see a couple more peasants get taken down as well. And with that, well, this expansion may be lost. Main gold mines have about 2 minutes of mining left, and that is it. Staff of Sanctuary, Happy, well, needs these Knights back out onto the battlefield, and that is huge. Also, the Pit Lord trying to, well, fill up, well, basically trying to fill up a swimming pool with a garden hose right now. 1,500 hit points trying to be recovered slowly through a scroll of regeneration. That is going to take quite some time, and no easy way to burst heal that Pit Lord at all. Downside of well, downside of strength-based heroes. Definitely, if you don't have ways to easily heal them, that large hit point capacity well, it doesn't really matter if you have 3,000 hit points if you can't heal back up all of those hit points easily. Potion of Healing gets it back into a respectable range, soon to be 900 hit points. Meanwhile, Shadow Hunter and Death Knight, they're trying to find a way to get back into this game here. Dreadlord, a follow-up hero, Vampiric Aura, 2-0 upgrades there. And, well, there's still a little bit of creeping available on the map. Happy sitting at 80 over 88 supply. We're seeing the haunting of the gold mine on the top left. And how is this all going to go down now? The real problem is Happy can't easily transition away and from this air army. Also, I said it before, not having Sundering Blades means that the Crypt Fiends are able to do a lot more damage. And here we go. The Obsidian statues are kind of in the back. Are we going to see a round of web? There you are. There's a round of webbing. And now Obsidian or Serpent Wards trying to throw down as well. Crypt Fiends trying to retreat back away. We're going to be seeing one Dragonhawk Rider down. Shadow Hunter does sit at level 6. Are we going to see Big Bad Voodoo? No, level 3 Healing Wave instead. As we're looking at the Obsidian statues still trying to retreat back here. Griffin Rider is going to go straight after those Obsidian statues. And now a tactical retreat is needed as, well, the Death Knight, 58 supply compared to 80. Do we see the Doomguard is still out on the battlefield? Or is it? What's going on? I can't tell. Oh, Sundering Blades is researched. We can see that a peasant is trying to take down this haunted gold mine on the top left. Everything is going to try and, well, get into that position over here on the top left now. Alkalites trying to make their way over. All of the main battling going to happen here. 80 supply versus 67. Happy also with a bit more gold, so he's going to be able, well, to do a little bit more here. Serpent Wards are down, and, well, oh, Doomguard. All right, so Doomguard right there. All right, both sides fighting their way through. New Doomguard out on the battlefield, and, well, level 2 now on that Dreadlord sleeping the Shadow Hunter. So cripple and now sleeping the Shadow Hunter. The Shadow Hunter not being able to throw down Serpent Wards is huge as he's falling asleep, and that actually just kind of prolongs the battle even further. All right, Happy needs to be careful with this Dreadlord. There's another stomp going down. 79 supply compared to 58. And I believe Happy has refound his footing after all this time. The Crypt Fiends are not able to stay stationary because of the Knights putting in pressure. And, well, even with all of these Dragonhawk Riders currently webbed down, the supporting army of Happy able to put pressure onto those Crypt Fiends in order to finish them off one at a time, especially with the Doomguard's cripple. All right. Level 3 now on the Dreadlord. Are we going to see level 2? Yeah, level 2 Vampiric Aura. And the Pit Lord back up to 1,500 hit points. Perhaps the Cleave swiping able to, with Vampiric Aura, able to regenerate a lot of hit point, or a lot of, each swipe essentially getting an additional 20 to 30 hit points back. And Happy is victorious. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below.